Hello and welcome back to Naomi's Scrappy DIY Retreat. If this is the first time you are joining me, I appreciate that and I hope that you will subscribe and come back. If you have are a returning visitor or subscriber, I appreciate your continued patronage and I thank you so much. Either way, I hope that you like this and subscribe and share this if you really enjoyed it. We have 3 fall DIYs that are Dollar Tree, except for one bouquet, which was from Walmart. These are really easy, pretty simple, fairly inexpensive since we use Dollar Tree items. So grab your favorite drink, your coffee, your tea, your water, and join me as we begin these 3 fall DIYs. The first thing you're going to need are 2 pumpkins from the Dollar Tree, a bag of their stone natural rock, and then some of the Dollar Tree foam. You will also need some florals. Now these florals can be whatever you want them to be. This was the floral bouquet that I had gotten this was the Walmart bouquet, and I think it may have been closer to the $5 mark, but I did not use it all for this DIY. And then these are some just Dollar Tree picks. There's some berries, some feathers. And again, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted, so I just pulled a couple different bunches of things that I thought would look good together. And that's kind of what you're seeing here. There's just some different colors. Just some are more vibrant, some are more neutral. And so I just went with the variety. I put them to the side so that I could figure out what I wanted to do once I got to that point. And then that's where I was. So then with those Dollar Tree pumpkins, you will want to take off the stem. Actually, you don't need to because we're going to be taking an X-Acto knife from the Dollar Tree and just removing where you see that ridge is. That's all you need to remove. And so you're just going to slip the X-Acto knife in there and just run all the way around the edge, and it'll take you just a couple minutes, but you'll get it. It's actually super easy. This was what I used. This was my method. There are probably other methods you could use, and then I just used a little, I have a thin bladed screwdriver, as you can see there. It's a Phillips head. Sorry, it's a flathead. And just that's what I used to pry underneath of it and pop that out. It was real easy to pop out. And so I did this with all of with those 2 pumpkins. And then I just took some hot glue. I cut up some squares to go down inside the pumpkins. And then I used the super glue and glued those squares of the floral foam down inside the pumpkin. And again, just super easy, really inexpensive. Right now we're not even looking at $1.50 for what we see right now. And so I did that to both of the pumpkins, and then I started to paint them. And I went ahead and went over them with Waverly chalk paint. You can use a different color. The reason I use the Waverly chalk paint is that it's super bright orange, and so both of the ribbons that I used are a thinner material. So if you want to paint this a different color, you are more than welcome to. Like if you have a thinner ribbon and you want like more of a green undertone, then go for it that way. But I did want to point out that I used the River Rock in, and I went ahead and put the River Rock in before I started the next step. And I just put a little bit in, and really it's just to balance it, to give it some weight, so that way it doesn't tip over if you use a higher flower or stem. And again, this was the first one, the first ribbon that I chose. And again, this is a Dollar Tree ribbon, and it is, like I said, it is thinner, so I didn't want the orange peeping through. So then I just took hot glue. I cut it into strips so that it would wrap inside. If you can see it, it wraps inside of the pumpkin hole that we made. And I just cut strips long enough to go from one side to the other so that it's a continuous loop. And then that way, that's all there is. And as you can see, you just pull it kind of taut, but you can see the white underneath of it. So if I'd have left the orange, I wouldn't have liked how that looked, but maybe that's how you want it to look, and that is perfectly fine. I mean, again, this is yours. This is how you're designing it. So just make it how it works for you. And then I just chose the florals that I wanted to use, and I just started sticking them in the styrofoam that's in there. And I played with this one a couple times trying to figure out exactly the look I was going for. And I finally, it's so funny because I ended up choosing the path I was going to use originally. And these are actually some Dollar Tree picks and a couple other things. And that one is a Walmart pick. So I totally changed it, but this was what it looked like in the end, and I loved it. I just added a few other, just stems, and then what I did was I tied a raffia bow, and that was the finishing look for it. For the second one, again, I just chose some different floral looks that I wanted, and I wanted a darker color because I do have like an orange burgundy type ribbon that I'm using. And so we already have the pumpkin ready. So again, just put your river rock in the bottom of it, and then go ahead and do what you did with the first one. Cut your strips of ribbon so that it'll wrap and fit inside the pumpkin, and you can hot glue it down inside. I don't know if you can see, but you can see some of my hot glue along the edges, and then just wrap it tight. On some of it, you may have to make like little creases in it just so that it will be a little bit better. I did have some other options for ribbon, and so I just wanted to show you it is a 9-foot roll, and it was just what I had available. Unfortunately, my pictures are backwards, and so I'm showing you in the next frame exactly how to hold it up to it and to position it inside the pumpkin. And again, I apologize that that's backwards. And then again, I just chose my florals and I put them into the foam the way I wanted. And then I had this different kind of ribbon, and I wanted to add some yellow to it. I felt like it needed some extra color. And so I took another grosgrain ribbon from Dollar Tree and just wrapped those two together to make the ribbon that you see here. And then here you're looking at the finished product. I actually ended up adding this beautiful little flower to it, and I love it. Like, it was cute without it, but I love the flower in it. So my next project is those fall little things, little flower pots that you see. And I chose, at first I was going to try to wrap them in burlap, and then I just didn't like how it was looking as I tried to wrap it. But what you'll need is you'll need some of these Dollar Tree mini flower pots and some jute twine. And again, you're gonna what I did, now you can keep it the neutral color, but I painted it the Waverly White. I did 2 coats, and then I did and then I put a little bit of styrofoam. I hot glued the styrofoam, the floral foam inside of those little flower pots. And then I went with an assortment of different flowers. I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted. So I just had all of these flowers that I thought, it would be super cute to use, just vibrant colors. I wanted something vibrant because the base is white, but I wanted something vibrant to just stand out. And I think in the end, this was one of my favorite fall DIYs that I did. I have another one, but this is one of them. And so again, here's just some more different florals that you could use, but the end result is super cute. And I used the stencils. All I did was I traced, I printed off the lettering that I wanted, and I scribbled over the back with pencil, and then just traced over that, and then that's how I painted the fall onto that. And so I just distressed the pumpkins a little bit. I didn't go as high as what I thought I might, and so there's just some pumpkins and some pine cones and some berries, some flowers and some leaves in here. And so this, again, I just absolutely love this. This one is one of my favorites. And so tell me down below what you think. Did you enjoy it? Did I give enough information? I sometimes feel like I speed through them. So if there's something else that you need to know, please let me know. Also, let me know below which one of these is your favorite. I would love to hear that. And again, thank you so much for joining me at Naomi's Scrappy DIY Retreat. And I really do hope that you will come back and join me again. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the little notification bell. That way, anytime I post a new video, you will be notified. Again, thank you so much and have a blessed, wonderful day.